Welcome back to my channel, where we share stories about friendship, life, lessons, and adventures.
Today we will revisit Bikini Bottom, a city full of wacky residents, and let's meet our favorite protagonist, Bob Sponge.
The conch-shaped alarm clock jingled excitedly in Bob Sponge's little square room.
It was 5:30 in the morning in Bikini Bottom, and the underwater town was still sleeping quietly under the soft light filtering through the water. But for Bob Sponge, a new day was always a reason to celebrate. He jumped out of bed as if he had springs on his feet, opened his arms,
and loudly declared with his usual enthusiasm, "Good morning, ocean world. I'm ready to smile." Gary, his pet snail, merely meowed lazily in response, rolling to the other side of the shell bed. Bob, however, was already in motion.
He began his morning exercises in unusual ways.
Lifting spatulas like dumbbells and doing jumping jacks inside a bubble he had prepared the day before.
As he got ready, he mentally repeated his plan for the day. Work at the Krusty Krab, making Krabby Patties, practice new bubble-blowing techniques, visit Patrick for another silly adventure, and, of course, find my new laugh lock from laughter. After brushing his square teeth
And adjusting his tie, Bob ran down the stairs and opened his pineapple door. The street was still calm.
A few fish were yawning on their way to work, but Bob was already vibrating with energy as if it were noon.
he greeted everyone with contagious enthusiasm. Good morning, Mrs. Poe. Good morning, fish. I don't know. Good morning. Rock in the street.
Each greeting came with a giant smile, reflecting his conviction that every detail in the world deserved recognition.
On his way to the Krusty Krab, he decided to visit Patrick's Rock.
The starfish was still sleeping, snoring loudly, but that didn't discourage Bob. He simply left a singing message outside the rock. "Patrick, wake up whenever you want, because today the world is full of joy."
Arriving at the Krusty Krab, Bob pushed the door with such energy it hit the wall.
Squidward, already behind the counter, rolled his eyes tiredly and grumbled.
Here he comes again, spreading happiness before the sun is even up. He muttered, "Exactly,"
Replied Bob with a smile that seemed to light up the restaurant.
because a new day is always a chance to spread joy. Mr. Krabs suddenly appeared, drawn by the sound of the door slamming. "Joyful or not, I hope you're ready to flip Krabby Patties and make the cash register sing," he said, rubbing his paws. "Yes, sir," Bob replied, already running to the kitchen.
Inside, Bob dove into his magical ritual, heating the grill.
Arranging the ingredients and talking to each one as if they were old friends. "Hello, fluffy buns. Ready to be amazing. Please, you're going to melt hearts today."
Krabby Patty, prepare to shine.
While frying, he hummed an improvised tune, each note accompanied by laughter.
In minutes, the first customers arrived, drawn not only by the delicious smell, but by the vibrant energy that seemed to overflow from the kitchen walls.
A curious customer asked Squidward, "How does he always manage to be so happy so early?" Squidward rolled his eyes.
I don't know. Maybe he swallows coffee grounds for breakfast, but it wasn't coffee. It was simply the way Bob saw the world. Every bubble rising through the water, every fish swimming with every friend even. A grumpy one like Squidward was. Reason to smile. At noon,
When the sun was at its zenith, casting bright light on Bikini Bottom, Bob Sponge was in his usual spot, the center of attention.
Someone was flipping Krabby Patties with masterful movements, singing off-key while he worked.
even the customers tapped their feet to the rhythm, and some couldn't resist dancing along. Suddenly, a shadow loomed. Looking up, he saw Mr. Krabs with his eyes narrowed, calculating something on a small notepad. The cheerful atmosphere vanished instantly, replaced by nervous silence. Everyone knew what was coming.
gather all the ingredients that had come loose during the morning rush.
Not a single piece of lettuce or onion could be missing. Finally, he would have to sing, dance, and make jokes to entertain customers while he worked. If he could make them laugh, they would stay longer, order more, and help him reach his goals. Thinking of the plan, Bob became enthusiastic.
A challenge was just what he needed to shake things up.
Fear was gone, and in its place was his unshakable optimism.
Bob gathered strength, focused on the task, and launched into action. Around him, the routine of the restaurant was pure magic.
Spatulas flew through the air. Eggs cracked perfectly on the grill.
And each ingredient found its place in the right pan. Bob worked, sang and joked,
Non-stop until 4 p.m. When Mr. Krabs reappeared, Bob had already flipped 782 patties.
This was his best day ever. He wiped his forehead with a dishcloth, put the spatula down, and awaited the results with a big smile. Mr. Krabs scanned the list.
His face, usually so greedy, now held admiration.
Congratulations! Bob Sponge! You surpassed yourself. Not only did you flip the most patties today, but you also brought the most customers.
For the first time in a long time, the restaurant will close with full coffers. Bob burst into laughter.
His infectious joy filled the kitchen.
But then he noticed Squidward with a thoughtful expression. Don't worry, Squidward.
Meeting Mr. Krabs' expectations doesn't mean we can't have fun. Tomorrow we'll make him even more money. We'll turn the restaurant into a giant smiley face. Squidward?
Maybe working with Bob Sponge wasn't so bad after all. Later that day, when the restaurant was closed, Bob strolled through the town with Gary on his shoulder.
The sky was a beautiful orange color, signaling the end of another perfect day. As he walked, he hummed happily, thinking about how he would improve his bubble-blowing technique tomorrow. Suddenly, he noticed something strange. All the street lamps were dim and most of the town was dark. Almost no one was on the streets. Hadn't they heard the world was full of joy today? A sad feeling welled up in him.
Did he have to bring the party to people, or were they supposed to join him? He thought about it for a moment.
Then he did what he did best. Laughed. Why wait for others to be happy when he could spread joy on his own?
Stopping in front of a small house, he left Gary a kiss on the shell and rang the doorbell.
A moment later, the door opened and Plankton appeared. What do you want, Sponge?
He asked suspiciously.
I wanted to invite you to my pineapple for a dinner full of laughter and good vibes. And you can bring Karen, too. She loves to dance.
Before Plankton could respond, Bob was already skipping down the street, eager to organize the party of the century.
As the first stars twinkled in the sky, Bob's pineapple was a hub of activity.
The walls were covered with colorful bubbles. Music played softly and lights danced to the rhythm. Mr. Krabs and Squidward were there.
Even though Mr. Krabs kept counting the money he had earned that day, hundreds arrived late, having woken up from his nap. But he immediately joined in the general laughter. Only Plankton looked uncomfortable.
He stood by the snack table, eyeing a plate of sandwiches suspiciously. Are they safe?
He asked. Safe? Of course. Just try it, Plankton. This sandwich will blow your mind. You won't regret it. Bob assured him. And he was right. The sandwich was delicious. Bob had some poison in it.
And that made Plankton feel better.
He was laughing like the rest.
That night, as Bob watched the partygoers dance and enjoy themselves, he felt a warm glow inside.
There was no one left who wasn't smiling.
You were sure of it. And if there was, well, that would be for tomorrow.
There was always someone to make happy, somewhere to visit, and another opportunity to laugh.